Welcome back to Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast. I'm your host, Benjamin Windybank, and this week we're reporting that we have a new song, Montenegro, withdrawn clickbait, and instead we're getting Montesong second place Dobro Došli.
I hope this contest can live up to its promise and continue to stand for peace and dignity for every person in the world.
This is Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast.
Now joining us on the podcast this week is June Montoya, who's been with the Vote for the Music team for some time, but is making her podcast debut today.
Hi, I'm June. I'm a Eurovision fan from Portugal, and I'm a little bit nervous, but really happy to be on the podcast.
As we have with myself and the other two co-hosts who have appeared on this podcast before, I'd first like to acquaint our listeners with you by finding out what your favourite Eurovision song ever is.
Oh, that's easy. I'm biased because it's Portugal, but it is Saudade, Saudade by Mauro.
I think our listeners can let that slide, as it is a very popular choice. Less popular, however, is the choice that Montenegro made a couple weeks ago until the final of Montesong 2024. As we reported 2 weeks ago, Clickbait by Neonoen won the national final, but after RTCG threatened to disqualify the entry, due to video footage of it being performed in June 2023, Neonoen voluntarily withdrew.
Since Nina Žižić had finished just 1 point behind Neonoen in Montesong and actually won the jury vote, she was invited by the broadcaster RTCG to step up and represent Montenegro. It's quite a roller coaster, going from runner-up to entrant.
Nina previously performed at Eurovision back in 2013 alongside the Montenegrin hip-hop duo Husi. They performed Igranka in Malmö, but didn't make it to the final. They finished 12th in their semi-final, just missing the cut. Nina's had an impressive career in music. She started out as part of a group called Negre and has since released numerous singles and collaborated with various artists. She's a well-established singer-songwriter in Montenegro with years of experience under her belt.
As for the song, it's far better.
Yes, while it still might find in qualification a difficult, Montenegro stand a far better chance with Dobro Došli than they ever did with Clickbait. It's a powerful but forgettable Balkan ballad that should be able to pick up a decent chunk of neighbour voting as a result. It certainly could just sneak a 9th or 10th place in its semi, but I fear it's more likely to manage 11th or 12th.
It is better than last place in the semi though, for sure.
Oh, by far. While the events that led up to the withdrawal are somewhat strange, especially considering rule breaks of this manner haven't led to disqualification or withdrawals in the past, it really probably is for the best.
If we want Montenegro to stay in Eurovision beyond 2025, they need to qualify. Hopefully this gives them a fighting chance.
In other big news this week, the Czechs have gone internal after cancelling their long-standing national final and have just announced their artist for Eurovision 2025.
And it's Adonxs, or at least that's how I think it's said.
Yes, we'll go with Adonxs, though his real name is Adam Pavlovchin, and he is quite the multi-talented individual. He first rose to fame after winning the 2021 edition of the Czech-Slovak version of Superstar, and the selection process was quite thorough. They used a combination of a demoscopic jury for 40% of the vote, an international jury for another 40%, and a CT selection committee for the remaining 20%. According to Michal Utekal, Czechia's head of media, Adonxs was the clear winner in all aspects.
It sounds like they left no stone unturned in their search. Do we know anything about the song he'll be performing?
No. We have absolutely no idea. However, based upon his previous work, this is likely to be very, very interesting. Czechia are clear. They are trying for the win. Ahmad Haloun, the international PR and comms manager for Czechia at Eurovision, said that Adonxs was one step ahead and ready to work. He added, "We are all gearing up to deliver the best result for Czechia in the contest."
That's great to hear. It sounds like they've got high hopes.
There's also been a significant change in how Eurovision will be broadcast in Czechia. For the 2025 contest, they're moving the broadcast up to their main channel, CT1. The Czech delegation says this is a symbol of confidence and support from the national broadcaster. They haven't broadcast all 3 shows on their main channel since 2007.
Now that is a significant move. It really demonstrates their commitment to the contest. Do you think this could impact Adonxs' performance or the public's engagement with Eurovision in Czechia?
Yes, it certainly could. Moving the broadcast to the main channel will increase viewership and hopefully public interest in the contest. I think the Czech delegation really get Eurovision in a way a lot of others don't, but at the moment, the public interest is just tiny. Hopefully this can be a turning point for them.
Yes, hopefully. Do we have any more news?
Well, there's actually been quite a bit, from national final artist announcements to the introduction of a new Eurovision Code of Conduct. It's been non-stop. However, what I'd like us to focus on to finish this week's podcast is the fact we have the competing countries for Eurovision 2025.
Yes, 38 I think.
After quite a long time, the EBU finally announced that yes, 38 countries will compete in Basel at Eurovision 2025. They are RTSH from Albania,
AMPTV from Armenia,
SBS from Australia,
ORF from Austria,
IGTMAI from Azerbaijan,
VRT from Belgium,
HRT from Croatia,
CYBC from Cyprus,
CT from Czechia,
DR from Denmark,
ERR from Estonia,
YLE from Finland,
FT from France,
GPB from Georgia,
ARD and NDR from Germany,
ERT from Greece,
RUV from Iceland,
RTE from Ireland,
CAN from Israel,
RAI from Italy,
LTV from Latvia,
LRT from Lithuania,
RTL from Luxembourg,
PBS from Malta,
TRM from Moldova,
RTCG from Montenegro,
Adonxs from Netherlands,
NRK from Norway,
TVP from Poland,
RTP from Portugal,
SMR TV from San Marino,
RTS from Serbia,
RTV SLO from Slovenia,
RTVE from Spain,
SVT from Sweden,
SRG SSR from Switzerland,
UAPBC from Ukraine.
and the BBC from United Kingdom.
The only change from last year, after a lot of speculation, has been just the addition of Montenegro, who have of course already selected their song for Eurovision 2025.
After a slight false start.
And speaking of starts, thank you very much for joining me on the podcast, June, and we hope to have you back soon. But until then, stay tuned for more Eurovision news in the coming weeks and months. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to follow us or subscribe to us wherever that is. You can also find us on Twitter, Blue Sky and Threads at VTFMHQ. So until the next time, thank you very much for listening, and remember to vote for the music.
Vote for the Music, the Eurovision podcast, is produced by Benjamin Windibank and Tadeusz Tyslak. The theme music was produced by Joe Telt and Benjamin Windibank, based upon a composition by Michael Nekrasov. Thank you for listening, and remember to vote for the music.